Today I am here at Kim's Pianos in Stanton, California. This particular store location and the Kim's Pianos little chain, if you will, is very well known for having a wide selection of high-quality pianos, but they also have a small little area that's dedicated to digital pianos. And when I was walking through, I noticed this instrument here. I don't know if it actually says on the back what it is, but this is a Kawai ES8, and I'm being told that it does. So it says that on the back. So this is the Kawai ES8, and I've been told by a lot of people that they want me to review it. Now, while it's difficult for me to get manufacturers to send me products to my studio, I did encounter this one out in the wild, so to speak, at Kim's Pianos. They carry these, they have them on display, so I figured I would do an on-location shoot and a mini review of this instrument. It's kind of like the little brother to the MP11, or now the MP11 SE. It has a rather similar form factor, a rather similar appearance, but it is a little bit smaller. It has internal speakers, has the same music stand though, which is very nice, and it also is using a different action. I'm not actually sure what they're using for the action in here, but it doesn't feel bad. It's not as good as the Grand Feel, which is honestly the best digital piano action that you can find in today's market, but the action that they're using in here, maybe it's the RH3 or something similar, it doesn't have a bad feel and it works just fine. Another thing that it shares in common with the MP11 SE is the piano sample. It's the SK Concert Grand. It's the same one that was used in the MP11 SE. When they revamped the MP11 to the MP11 SE, they also updated many of the piano samples, and this is one of the ones that they installed on the MP11 SE. Also apparently on the ES8. It's very lovely, lush, warm sample. For a digital piano, it really sounds pretty good, especially on the MP11 SE, which I did a review of quite some time ago. Now, I mentioned that this is an on-location shoot, and I say that because that's rather important. In the recording studio, I use Roland KC350 amplifiers. They're actually very good. They may be modern amplifiers, but they are very good for using keyboards through. They have a wonderful sound. They work just great. The little brother to those, this is the little brother to the MP11 SE, so the little brother to the 350 is the 150. I actually used to have one of those many years back, but the odd thing is there's a massive step up in quality when you're going from the 150 to the 350. The higher number is the better quality amplifier, and there's a large gap in quality of sound. I think the build quality is about the same on both of them, really, but the audio quality from the 150 to the 350, there's no comparison. However, unfortunately, while Kim's has a fantastic selection of high-quality pianos, they don't have a wide selection of amplifiers. That's not what they do, so this is what I have here. If I ever do get an ES8 in the studio, I will run it through my KC350s, and I think you will hear a bit of a difference. But I'm also going to be showing you guys the sound of the internal speakers as well, because as I mentioned, this has internal speakers. And so I'm going to be demoing that as well as the sound of an amplifier, and you guys can kind of tell for yourselves which one you like better, the sound of the internal speakers or the sound of the amplifier. The advantage of the amplifier is you can make it go up a lot louder than the keyboard internal speakers would. So if you're playing it for a larger room, an amplifier certainly is the way to go. But for home practice, you might not need an amplifier, especially with one that has internal speakers, so that's why I'm going to let you guys decide which one you like more. For some of you out there who aren't looking to invest a large amount of money, an amplifier might not be needed, but for a staged piano that doesn't come with internal speakers, or for those of you who are looking for a higher quality audio experience, an amplifier just might be the way to go. So let's start off here by using the internal speakers. I have the default piano patch selected, the EX Concert Grand, actually if you tap it a bunch of times it gives you different grands, that's cool. So the SK Concert Grand, that's the one I'm selected on. The default patch, the warm piano sound, and let's turn on the internal speakers here and play a Bach piece and see how that sounds. So that is the sound of the internal speakers on the Kawai ES8. While these may not be the highest quality of audio experience that you can have, they're really not bad for internal speakers. I certainly have heard much worse when it comes to electronic instruments like this. I've heard some internal speakers that are really, really poor. These ones seem to be fine. They're not causing any buzzes on the instrument. They have a decent audio quality that would be honestly just fine for using in a home or an apartment. And there is, of course, the advantage of having a volume switch as well, so you can dial in the volume that you want and not only have to be playing pianissimo. So if you want to practice on something loud, you can put in headphones or just turn the volume way down and then play something loud, and you don't have to worry about the volume being super loud. Now, there's also other sounds on here as well, which I think I might touch on briefly. They seem to be generally the same amount of sounds, the same general range of sounds that were in the MP11 SE. It might be a few less in this one, but there's also, those Rhodes sounds. If I play too much of that, they'll demonetize my video, but you probably know what song that was from. So honestly, the Rhodes sound in these is pretty nice. But one interesting thing about the ES8 that I find very strange is that it actually has an organ sound. I think there's several in here. There's church organ ones as well as a few drawbar organ ones. And what's interesting is that the MP11 SE, which is the highest quality, most expensive stage piano that Kawai makes, oddly enough does not have any organ sounds at all. So if you're looking for a keyboard made by Kawai that has organ sounds, well, this one is an option for you. Of course, there's no drawbar customization, but there are organ sounds on here, so if you want to have some fun, you can. Of course, there's not really any competition for a real Hammond B3, but it still is nice that there are organ sounds on here, and I find it very strange that there are none on the MP11 SE. There's also some fun things in here like a harpsichord, which is very shrill through these speakers, and some other fun things as well. There's a clavinet sound in the harpsichord and mallets section, and there's also some strings, and a bass as well. But let's get the the amplifier out here and see what the sound difference is there. So let's check that out. Turn the volume off on that. We'll turn on the amplifier, and now let's play that same Bach piece on the SK Contra Grand sample and see how that sounds compared to the internal speakers. So let me know what you guys think. Do you like the sound of the amplifier better, or do you like the sound of the internal speakers? Again, there are advantages to both. The amplifier, depending on the one you're using, can have a higher quality sound, and the internal speakers, though, are a little bit more convenient. And also, if you're looking for an entry-level instrument like this one, you might not need an amplifier anyway. This would make a fine first instrument for somebody who's looking to get into the piano. The action, like I said, is not as high quality as in the MP11 SE. When you're going, when you're playing it, if you move your hands inwards towards the keys, they become harder and harder to play versus out here. That's part of the magic of a real piano, is that no matter where you push the key down on a good piano, it will feel just about the same, but that's difficult to replicate in all electric pianos, and the lower end ones won't have that feature. The MP11 SE, though, is a little bit better at doing that. However, this doesn't cost as much as the MP11 SE, and there are a number of things for some people that would be better about it than the MP11 SE. Another thing I'm noticing is that the pedal unit does the typical thing where it scoots across the floor, just a small observation, but the one thing I am very happy with is this music desk. It appears to be either a very similar or an identical one to the one that comes with the MP11 SE. It's made of solid metal, very high quality. You're not going to have any durability issues with this thing at all. I do wish it was a bit wider. Maybe someday someone will do that, but the build quality of it is honestly excellent. Let's try a little bit of the electric piano sounds. That's the sound of the electric pianos coming through the amplifier. Let's try the organ, and maybe we'll try a little bit of the harpsichord. Let me find that again. There it is, harpsichord. That, I think, definitely sounds a lot better on the amplifier than through the internal speakers. It sounded very harsh and tinny on the internal speakers, and through the amplifier it sounds very nice and warm. So that has been a quick little demo of the Kawai ES8. Many people have asked me to review it, and if I manage to get one into the studio, I will do a bit more of an in-depth review of it, run it through some higher quality amplifiers, maybe run it direct, because people like to tell me to do that. I don't have the equipment with me to do it today, or I would. And also, I'd maybe give you a more in-depth review of it and demo all the sounds. But like I said, it's still a little bit difficult for me to be able to get companies to send me things to the studio. So until that happens, this review will have to suffice. One thing I'm noticing over here that's very nice is there is a built-in metronome that's actually, believe it or not, that's one of my favorite features about the MP11 and the MP11 SE, is that built-in metronome. Because when I've been on the road, I've been practicing on my MP11, and I've been using the internal metronome a lot. It's very, very convenient, and so I'm happy to see that there's one in the ES8 as well. It's a very nice feature. Don't think too many keyboards these days, at least stage pianos like this one, have internal speakers, so it's nice to see that as well. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this quick little review of the Kawai ES8. Once again, thank you very much to Kim's Pianos of Stanton, California, for letting me come in basically all day and film. It's been awesome. You guys are great, and so thank you very much to Kim's Pianos. In case you can't tell, they have a really wide selection of pianos of all ranges, from the entry-level stuff like this one, digitals, acoustic entry-level stuff, all the way up to the very high end. So basically, no matter what you're looking for, definitely come by and check them out, and they will be very, very happy to see you. They're very friendly people. I love being here. So anyway, thank you very much to Kim's Pianos. Thank you very much to you guys, the viewers, for watching my channel. If you liked this and you're new here, you might want to go check out the rest of my channel. I do lots of reviews of acoustic pianos, electric pianos, organs, and really anything else with a keyboard attached. So if that sounds cool, you might want to go check that out. If you think about subscribing, if you do that, thank you very much, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Goodbye.